the last window of hope. Evelyn Carter had lived long enough to witness the world change again and again. She had seen cities rise, technology grow faster than human hearts could handle, and time itself turn youth into memory. She was 82 years old, living in a small coastal town in Maine where the ocean wind carried stories and every sunset felt like a sigh from the heavens. She lived alone in a white wooden cottage at the edge of Harbor Lane. The house smelled of old books, warm soup, and memories of love that refused to fade. Her husband, Thomas, had passed away nearly 10 years earlier in a sudden car accident. 53 years of marriage ended in a single moment. Evelyn often said that the hardest part of life was not growing old, but growing old without the person you shared your life with. They never had children. Not by choice, but by fate. She had prayed and hoped for years, dreaming of a little voice calling her mother someday. But motherhood never came. Still, she did not turn bitter. Instead, she decided to mother the world around her. Everyone knew her as the kind grandmother of Harbor Lane. She baked cookies for neighborhood children, knitted scarves for charity, and wrote handwritten birthday cards for children who barely knew her name. She placed apples on doorsteps and whispered blessings over passing strangers. She believed kindness was a form of prayer. Every morning, she sat by her large window overlooking the sea, greeting the sunrise with gentle eyes and a soft whisper. "Good morning, my love. I am still here." She spoke to Thomas as if the ocean carried her words to wherever his soul rested. She drank tea with honey, walked to the pier with her wooden cane, fed birds, spoke to fishermen, and then volunteered at the town library reading stories to children. Her voice felt like warm blankets on a snowy night. When she came home, she lit a candle beside Thomas's photograph and ate simple soup alone. She wrote in her diary every night. "Another day lived with kindness," she wrote. "I hope it was enough." But solitude carried weight, even for kind souls. Some nights she cried into her pillow, remembering the warmth of Thomas's arms and the laughter they once shared. Grief never truly goes away. It simply becomes quiet until silence wakes it again. Still, Evelyn believed her purpose was to bring light where darkness settled. She never asked life what it owed her. Instead, she asked life what she could still give. Sheriff Daniels checked on her often. Mrs. Hall from the bakery brought her warm bread every Sunday. Children left drawings in her mailbox that said, "Thank you, Grandma Evelyn." She saved every picture in a wooden box labeled God's Little Gifts. Her life was gentle, and she loved softly. She never knew that the universe was preparing to place one more purpose into her aging hands. One stormy evening in late autumn, rain struck the windows like restless fingers. Wind howled and the ocean roared. While sitting by the fireplace knitting a soft scarf, Evelyn heard a faint knock at the door. She slowly walked to open it. A small boy stood outside, drenched from the cold rain, trembling as if the world had turned on him. His blonde hair clung to his forehead, and fear shone in his blue eyes. He looked around 10 years old. "Child, what are you doing here in this weather?" she gasped. "I didn't know where else to go," he whispered. She wrapped him in a blanket, made him hot chocolate, and sat beside him near the fire. "What is your name, sweetheart?" "Eli," he murmured. "And your parents?" His eyes filled with tears. "My mom is sick. They sent her to a far hospital. I was staying with my uncle, but he drinks. I ran away." Evelyn's heart tightened. She touched his cheek gently. "You are safe here, Eli." He looked at her with trembling fear. "Are you going to send me away too?" Her voice cracked. "Not tonight, dear. Tonight, you rest." Eli stayed the night. She gave him clean clothes, warm sheets, and read him a bedtime story. The cottage, quiet for years, suddenly felt alive again. A child's breath filled the silence with life. The next day, she called the sheriff and social services, but she also made it clear that she would care for Eli until his mother recovered. Everyone in town agreed. Deep inside, everyone knew there was no safer home for that boy. Days passed. Eli healed slowly. He followed Evelyn everywhere. He helped water plants, read picture books beside her, and filled her house with laughter she had forgotten existed. He called her Grandma Evelyn after just 3 days. The first time he said it, she had to step into the kitchen to hide her tears. She knitted sweaters for him and packed his lunches. She tucked him in at night, kissed his forehead, and hummed lullabies she once sang in a room prepared for a baby who never came. For the first time in her long life, Evelyn felt the ache of emptiness fading. Destiny had finally given her a child to love. But life has a way of testing gentle hearts. One morning, she felt a strange heaviness in her chest. Her breath came shorter with each passing day. Pain crept into her body like a slow winter frost. She hid it from Eli. She did not want his smile to vanish. The town doctor examined her. Her heart was weakening. Age and quiet grief had done what time always does. He told her to rest, but she only thought of Eli. How could she rest when a child needed her? Each night she sat beside his bed watching him sleep, whispering prayers. Please, God, not yet. He needs me. Spring arrived. The world began to bloom. Birds returned. Children played outside. And then, on a gentle morning filled with sunlight, when seagulls flew across a soft blue sky, Evelyn did not wake up. She lay peacefully, hands folded over her chest, face calm as if she had simply drifted into Thomas's arms. When Eli found her, he shook her hand gently at first, then frantically. Tears poured from his eyes. Grandma, wake up! Please wake up! Please don't leave me! His cries filled the cottage. The neighbors rushed in. Sheriff Daniels lifted the trembling boy into his arms. The doctor came, then the pastor. The town cried together that day. They lost their quiet angel, and a child lost his world again. The funeral was the largest Harbor Lane had seen. The church overflowed with people carrying flowers and memories. Children placed drawings on her coffin. We love you, Grandma Evelyn, they wrote in shaky handwriting. She was buried beside Thomas overlooking the sea she loved. Waves touched the shore softly, as if mourning too. In her will, she wrote that if she ever became a guardian to a child in need, everything she owned should provide for that child. Eli stayed in the town with a loving foster family, but he visited her grave every week. He placed flowers, brushed fallen leaves, and whispered, I miss you. Thank you for loving me. I will make you proud. Her cottage became a reading home for children. A small sign outside read Denver. This home belonged to a woman who believed love is the greatest purpose. May every person who enters feel the kindness she left behind. Evelyn never had a child of her own, but she became a mother to every heart she touched. She lived quietly, loved deeply, and left behind a light that did not fade. And every morning, when sunlight touched the waves, it felt as if her voice still whispered through the wind. Good morning, my love. I am still here. Sometimes the greatest lives are not lived by the loudest, the wealthiest, or the most powerful. Sometimes they are lived by gentle hearts who choose love in a world that often forgets it. Evelyn Carter was one of those hearts, and the world never forgot.